Good afternoon. My name is Daphne Papadopoulou, and here's the top news in Greece on Wednesday. The Greek Foreign Ministry announced that it had successfully completed the repatriation of 105 Greek citizens and their family members who had been stranded in Israel as its conflict with Iran intensified. The evacuees traveled by bus from Israel to Egypt and were then flown to Athens from Sharm el-Sheikh International Airport aboard Greek military aircraft. The first plane landed at Elefsina Air Base west of the Greek capital shortly before 4 a.m., followed by 2 more aircraft. From there, buses transported the evacuees to central Athens, where families and relatives were waiting at the drop-off point. One woman who stepped off the first bus told Kathimerini newspaper that she and her travel companions were constantly in shelters in the past few days and had hardly slept. The Foreign Ministry said this flight also facilitated the return of citizens from EU member states and third countries, including Austria, Belgium, France, Germany, Switzerland, the United States and Italy. Foreign Minister Yorgos Gerapetritis also announced that a second plan was underway to evacuate Greeks in Iran. He said that only a small number of citizens and diplomatic staff remain in the country, but the evacuation effort would be particularly challenging. In other news, the Greek Parliament is convening today for a secret ballot vote on whether to refer the government's former transport minister, Kostas Karamanlis, to a preliminary investigative committee over Greece's deadliest train crash 2 years ago. The special session will debate 3 separate proposals on how to move forward. The first proposal from ruling New Democracy Party would focus on whether the former minister committed the misdemeanor of breach of duty by allegedly failing to provide adequate funding and ensure proper staffing for the Hellenic Railway organization. The second proposal from opposition party PASOK names 8 politicians, while a third proposal, submitted by citizens and supported by smaller parties and independent lawmakers, targets 11 politicians, including the current Prime Minister. The crash, which occurred just before midnight on February 28, 2023, involved a head-on collision between a freight train and a passenger train that were running on the same line linking Athens with Thessaloniki. It resulted in the deaths of 57 people, most of whom were university students. Now, the Health Ministry, in collaboration with UNICEF, has launched a free teleconsultation service for children struggling with obesity and their families, as part of a national action plan against childhood obesity. The program offers personalized dietary plans through 12 online sessions over 6 months, guided by dietitians, psychologists, pediatricians, and physical education experts. The initiative addresses alarming national rates, as 37.5% of children aged between 2 and 14 in Greece are deemed overweight or obese, which is the highest in Europe. Participation requires a pediatrician's referral following a clinical evaluation. Greece's top scientific advisory body on diversity has rejected a proposal to remove wolves from Mount Parnitha, which is north of Athens, calling the plan scientifically unfounded and practically unfeasible. The Committee 2000 noted that wolf removal violates EU law as the species is strictly protected. The committee said in its report that the wolf is a key component of Parnitha's ecosystem, adding that its past extermination disrupted ecological balance. Experts also stressed the practical difficulty and ecological risks of trapping and relocating wolves. The proposal to remove the wolves was initiated by a prosecutor tasked with animal protection to safeguard the native red deer population on the mountain. Finally, Brian Cox, the Scottish actor known for his role as the media mogul in HBO's Succession, appears in The Marbles, a 113-minute documentary that critically examines the history and ethics surrounding the Parthenon marbles, taken by Lord Elgin in the 19th century, and the wider context of British imperial acquisition of cultural treasures. The film, directed by British filmmaker David Wilkinson, argues that the ancient sculptures should be returned by the British Museum. Its premiere will be at Scotland's Central Documentary Festival this October. And that's all for today. Tune in again on Thursday for Greece's first English language news bulletin, and have a good afternoon.